Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Today I'm playing along with Christy's Beautiful Life and 30 Days of Sketches again. And we are using this sketch that has these triangles that come in from the sides, and I'm really enjoying this one. I can't quite read who it's from, so I apologize for that. But I am sticking somewhat close to the sketch. Yeah, it's pretty close. And I had this blue paper in my scrap bin, even though it's almost a 12 by 12, but since there's a chunk taken out of it, it was in the scrap bin. And I knew I wanted to use that because it is the same color as the sky that is in my photos. And then I wanted to use a wood grain because, because the photo is in Colorado. It's got the white mountain range behind it, and it's got a lot of the browns and greens in front and a lot of nature. And so I definitely wanted to use something that brought in more of that. And I kind of, instead of going directly across from each other with the 2 points of the triangles, I made them offset a little bit. And I kind of like that a little bit better. Also because I am using a photo that's a little bit larger than what it called for on the sketch. I am just using one photo, but I kind of felt like, I don't know, it just needed to be offset. I just liked it how it looked a little better. So I am adding some black into these areas. I just basically ripped the black piece of paper. I thought I might try it with the ripped edge sticking out, but I liked it better with the flat edge sticking out. And that's just to bring in a little bit more dimension and create a little bit more of a layers. And so I started this sketch, or this layout, as part of load. This is, I believe, day 1 of load, and it called for, the story prompt was to talk about your castle or your domain type of thing, or use either like a compass or geotags or something like that. So that is why I am doing a little mixed media with some geotags. And this is not our house, but it almost was our house. This was many years ago, early 2000s. We considered buying this huge property in Colorado. It was an income property, basically. It was like a almost like a dude ranch, but it didn't work out, and we didn't end up going there. But we did end up taking a trip out there to look at it, and it was really a fun trip. So I have other pictures of us actually snowshoeing in to see the property, because we went and it was like the 100-year storm or something like that, and everything was covered in snow. So that was another whole layout that I'm going to work on at some point, but right now I am just telling kind of the story of us looking at this property. And it wasn't like a quick, oh, we'll take a glance at it and then, oh yeah, we might move there if, we're kind of thinking about it. We worked for months and months on trying to figure out how things would work, because it would be a family investment and everything. And family, I mean like my parents, my grandparents were still around at the time, my brother and his wife. We were all going to like kind of come together and run this as a business. But for many reasons it didn't work out, and we're probably better off for it at this point. But I did want to tell this story. So I am pulling in these thickers, and these are foam thickers. I don't have a lot of alphas left on this particular sticker sheet, so I am actually using a W upside down for the word home. And so my title is going to be Almost Home, and not as in, we're driving and we're almost home, but it's more of, this was almost home. And then I also had to kind of do some surgery on a letter C and make an E out of it. So I am in dire need of some new black thickers, because I have several packs that are almost, well, they're not almost empty, but they have no vowels left, so they may as well be almost empty. So that's a whole nother issue unto itself. So I also wanted to bring in the GPS coordinates for this property, because I want to be able to go back and look at it down the road. And my kids were pretty small when we went and looked at it. They remember going to look at it and everything, that we were thinking about buying it and everything. But I want them to be able to, you know, throw those coordinates into Google and see where the property was, and maybe they want to drive past it someday when they're in Colorado. I have no idea, but I just thought it was cool to put the GPS coordinates in there, and so that's what I am doing right now. And then I went ahead and backed my photo with a white layer of paper and then a black layer, and I like my borders to be relatively narrow, so I only cut them a 1/4 inch larger than the photo, and that gives me an 1/8 of an inch reveal on all the sides, and that is my preference. Once in a while I'll go a little bit larger, but very rarely. And I like the black around there because it kind of brings in a lot of the black that is on those little pieces that I stuck under the blue, and the title's in black, and then the white around the photo kind of just plays off of the white mountains and then the white thickers that have the GPS coordinates, so it kind of just brings everything together. I tried to get that little die cut piece that has all those circles on it, but it didn't work out. I didn't like how it looked. So I brought in this label from Pink Fresh Studio just to finish off where it says home. I didn't want to have some unfinished like little gap behind the word. So I stuck that in there, and I just wrote down the name of the ranch. It's called Alpine Mountain Ranch. And then I am bringing in some more embellishments down below. And I'm going to do my journaling underneath the GPS coordinates, and I'm just going to write directly on that blue paper, so it's going to have, there's going to be plenty of space for me to write, so I don't need a ton of space around the photograph. But I want to bring in some different elements. So I really like this little viewfinder square, just trimming it down a little bit because it had some extra edges on it from the paper that it was cut out of. It was cut out of like one of those cut apart sheets that you get in a collection. And then I thought I would bring in this sticker that says Dream Big and put it right above Almost Home. And then I didn't really need that Dream Big piece down below the photograph, even though I took all the time to fussy cut around it because it had such a huge white border around the words, which is really annoying. But I decided to go ahead and not use it since I already had Dream Big on the other side. And then I had these little film piece, and I cut it in half, and I needed to put some white underneath it because I didn't want a bunch of breaks. Like, I didn't want you to see the stuff under it, basically. I thought that was distracting to the eye. It just looks a little cleaner this way, so that works out for me. And all of these embellishments I have pulled out of my little bin of aqua colored stuff and my little bin of black stuff. And so that's what you see scattered all over my desk. I apologize that my desk is kind of a mess at the moment. It's going to be like that for a while just because of load. I do my best to kind of clean up after each layout, but with a small space I do have to do that, but I do end up leaving things out here and there, little bits and pieces. So I found, let's see here, the little piece that's underneath the GPS coordinates. It says Pure Goodness, which it was such a beautiful property. My heart still hurts that, you know, we didn't get to move there and run it. It had this beautiful barn for all the horses, and it had like a bed and breakfast type building on it and some cabins, and I don't know, it was just absolutely gorgeous. And I realize it's hard to see that in the photo because it's kind of small on the screen, but I have other photos of it that I will document when I document our trip to go out there and see it. And yeah, I am that far behind in my scrapbooking, so it is what it is. So I am currently documenting the past and the present, so you know, the past gets done when it gets done. I decided to slide in that tag so I can add some additional notes, and I just am going to pop a a hole in the top, and I will add some baker's twine to that. And actually, where I am scrapbooking right here on the screen is not at my house. This is I took this kit with me, and I'm doing it elsewhere. And so when I get back to my house is when I will add some of these other pieces. But I am making a note of it. Like, I want that key down at the bottom, where you see it there. But I don't want to stick it down yet because I think I want to add some dimension or twine to it to hold the key. And then now magically I'm at home, and I couldn't find the key, but it slid underneath the photograph. And so I went to my little bin of metal embellishments, and I found this metal key that I liked a lot. And so that's what I ended up using there, which is kind of funny because once I found that metal key, then the other key slid out from underneath the photograph. And then I was like, oh darn, which one do I use? But I ended up using the metal one. I don't use a lot of metal stuff on my layouts, but I thought that it was a fun addition, so that's why I decided to go ahead and use it. And then you just saw me ink all the way around the edges just to kind of close everything, frame everything, and I just inked it in black soot. And I'm adding some little turquoise rhinestones, and I don't use rhinestones very often, but I had these in my stash, and so I wanted to use them. Make sure you go and check out all of the other ladies that are playing along with Christy's Beautiful Life, and their links are down below in my description box. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I will see you next time. I seem to be playing along on all of the even days, so come back here in 2 days and I will be here with another layout for you. And in the meantime, check out Christy's channel and you'll see a whole bunch more there. Bye.